Hi everyone. My name is Lily Garipova, and I'm agent in Centermac Realty. Today I just wanted to share a little bit about Santa Clara County and Alameda County market. Yeah, we can look at the slides, and as you see, I just took these graphs from MLS. So this is specifically for single family homes. So you can see what changes do we see right now. So basically, there is not much change in the ratio, right? What people bid on the homes right now in Alameda. So if we I mean, like in the market in whole, right, in Alameda County, San Jose, still a lot of buyers on the market, but I noticed like some people are already getting tired from bidding wars and so on. That actually on Contra Costa, and it's for single families, right? So if you can see the graph, how much people bid on the homes in Contra Costa, that's just interesting to see, right? Like since people can't afford in Alameda, they start moving outward, right? So, and the biggest bidding wars, right? Like right now, today I submitted in Martinez, and we got I think it was 12 offers, right, in Martinez home. So the lower price home for the home, right, the more bids you would have on it. So Contra Costa shows like a big growth, and it still shows growth, right, since people can afford. Santa Clara County, we can see a little change in Santa Clara County. So if you look how much people bidded like in May, it just lessened a little bit right now. So I think again, I speculate that it's majority like people's kids like who go to school, they finish the school. Majority of people living to their countries. A lot. I mean, like some percentage of bidders are living right, like to visit their families or travel. So, and we see like a little buyer's fatigue, but still, like in Santa Clara County, there is like, let's say, multiple bids on every home, right? Like you wouldn't see a house sitting there with no bids. So again, like I submitted, just example, I submitted yesterday an offer for home in south of San Jose, not the good schools. And before we got to the due date, we already got, I mean, like they already got 4 offers by the due date of the offers to come. So, and that was a preemptive offers. So still a lot of buyers. They just don't, like in some areas you can see some buyer fatigue, but I don't know how long it's gonna last. So we're gonna go to the next one. Yeah, San Jose, that just shows what's the ratio for how much people bid over the asking price, right? So you can see again, and this graph shows for specifically for single families, it's not for the condos. So you can see on stats, right, like how the people stopped bidding like way over, right? Like so, and a lot of people, a lot of my like what I see right now, right? Like some agents, they would put them, like they would see a highly closed property in the neighborhood, and they list their home for the, I mean, like sold price of the previous home in a neighborhood. So, and I think this way, a lot of sellers they overprice, right? Like, and you would see this. Of course, people not gonna bid like tons of money on the property which already at the market value. So you can see people are more conservative on some areas. Yes, San Jose condos, right? Like, so at the beginning of the year, condos in San Jose, they were, I mean, like everywhere, right? Like people prefer single families right now over condos. But you can see like this big change in June, right? Like in San Jose condos, they've been just at the beginning of the year, I could negotiate one condo even down, and now it's like, I mean, like they in demand as well. So I suspect that people who can afford, like basically, if you do have a price point which you can afford, let's say at 1.2, right? If you keep searching for single family homes in San Jose, let's say, and you outbid everywhere, right? Next step, you're gonna go to townhouse, right? Like, and some townhouses in San Jose, they grew immensely, and not only in San Jose, it's all over, right? Townhomes. And so next next step is what it's going to be condos, and people who want to invest and who afraid of inflation and having cash on hand, right? Like they just try to find next affordable housing. So yeah, in San Jose, you can see this move to condo sites as well. Hmm.
So these are
Yes,
all the slides you got. Anything else
yes.
you want to add?
Not much. So we're still on a seller's market, and we talk about, I mean, like I can talk all over the Bay Area because I represent buyers and sellers all over Bay Area. So a lot of buyers, very active buyers. A little bit you feel a little buyer fatigue, but it's still, we are at the seller's market.
For somebody who is thinking about buying a home around a million two, $1.2 million in the San Jose area, how should that buyer approach the bidding process? What would you recommend to the buyer to figure out what price to put an offer in for?
Well, if the price point 1.2, it's a max, so you need to start to look for a house which priced at like 1 mil. Then you will have a better leverage, right, to put the money on top. Like recently, I submitted one offer for house which priced at 1 million, and I recommended my buyers to go above 100K as to put over list price. They put only 100. So when I talk to the agent before the offers, they already have like 180, right? So on average, I mean, like I can estimate at what price the house will go, right? And depends on neighborhood from neighborhood. But in San Jose, buying at 1.2, it's going to be not the best school neighborhood. It's probably going to be south, east, and that's the only two options left basically for San Jose. Um, yeah, and submitting an offers, of course, you try to submit preemptive if it's acceptable, right, like by the agent. And the offers, all offers which I submit today, they're all non-contingent, right? So we talk with the lenders, we remove loan contingency, we remove appraisal. So I estimate approximate what the valuation for the property would be, and then my buyers know for sure, and they go very brave, right, with the pricing. Yes, you have to go non-contingent today still, and anything if the seller wants to rent back, you just offer it for free, as always, lately. And yes, whatever seller needs if you want to win the offer.
How receptive are your buyers about giving up on their right to contingencies these days?
You know what? At the beginning, people are very scared, right? But then when they lose couple bits, they starting to realize that this is the only way to go. And you know, it's interesting as today I submitted for one house in Martinez. And my clients, they asked me yesterday at what price should we submit. The price was for the listed price for the home was 699. So, and I told them I would think that the price would be 800, right, winning bid. So they came back to me and they said, like, how do you analyze it? I said, like, well, based on the statistics, so and so on, I think it's going to be 800. So they said we want to go at 750, and today I just got a like call from an agent, and she said she had 12 offers, and the winning bid is 800. So, and they said like Martinez, people don't bid in Martinez 100K over asking, and yes, they do. So people bid all over, they put in high bids. You just after you lose couple, and yes, our offer was non-contingent, right? So right now we come to the point is not only non-contingent, right? Like it's like the offer, all offers, almost all offers come non-contingent. So and people look at the price, but then next step, what the buyer, I mean, like the agents, sellers agents are looking for down payment, right? Like if you have 5 or 20K, I mean, like 5% or 20% down payment, and then the buyers come at the same price, they're gonna pick the one who has bigger down payment. Not always, but majority of the times.
So down payment plays a very big role in the seller selection of the buyer. Now,
Some,
how much the price has to be higher for a buyer who has a lower down payment to win a winning bid?
I mean, like you can to put you know like in this specific case right now at the market, right? Like we like our biggest concern as for agents being on both sides, right? Like on representing seller or buyer is appraisal, right? So how much do you want to put, and do you have this difference, right? If the house doesn't appraise. So I told my buyers like, hey, this house will appraise for 750 for sure, 100%. We can push it to 780 maybe, yeah, appraiser if you're lucky, but at 800 it's doubtful, right? So you might come 50K short, right? Like, but at this market I know the banks will still appraise probably at 780 or something. So the buyers have to be prepared with numbers, right? Like if they have a small down payment and if they short in appraisal, they have to come up with this 30K to close the transaction, right? So you have to know what you're doing, because appraisal is another big thing, right? Like you have to calculate number, analyze, and at what price point you might come out with I mean like come with a pocket money, right? Like to put it on a table, not with a loan, right? Yes, so the difference which you might have to cover, it needs to be considered.
Alrighty, thank you so much, Lily.